It's a dark day, and that's why I'm wearing black. I've decided that I've had enough of YouTube with my cooking videos. They flagged another one. And what I had done as a nice test, and someone suggested this on YouTube, they said put up a video, monetize it, but make it hidden. Set it as hidden rather than public. And then wait 24 hours, 48 hours, 3 to 5 days, whatever it takes, to see whether YouTube will flag it as inappropriate for advertisers. That way, if you delete it, you won't lose any of the views that it's accumulated, because views are important on YouTube. That's where you gain your popularity. The more popular you are on YouTube, the more likely that YouTube will move your recipe to the top, your video to the top as a suggested video if someone's looking for something. They flagged this video, and it was about making pesto. And I know what I did wrong. I shouldn't say what I did wrong. I know what YouTube did wrong. The problem that YouTube has got is they're looking for keywords that are potentially offensive. And just to give a bit of the history, maybe you saw this in the news. A lot of advertisers withdrew from YouTube because their advertisements were being placed on inappropriate videos. I can understand it. If Kellogg's Corn Flakes doesn't want their ad on a recruitment video for Al Qaeda or ISIS or something. So to lure these advertisers back, because it's money for YouTube, they are being more strict about which videos are appropriate for these advertisements. And they're looking for these keywords. Well, in pesto is not bad, but when you look at some of the ingredients or ways of using pesto, YouTube sees it as bad. These have been in my refrigerator. I make pesto sometimes with almonds and sometimes with pine nuts. Nuts. See, sexual innuendo. They don't like sexual terms. Here's an advertisement for the local Smart and Final store. 99 cents a pound, First Street brand, chicken half breasts. Breasts. Bad word. Someone on YouTube did a series of videos, and they were bogus videos, just to see what YouTube would flag, what they would notice. Obvious sexual words they're not going to like. Words that have violence in them, or like he showed the video that was about the video game Assassin's Creed. They didn't like assassins. Some were really odd. Like, for example, they flagged videos that had the words North American, South American, any kind of ethnicity or nationality. So what if you're making a dish and it calls for Italian parsley? Italian could be bad. You could say Italy, supposedly, but you can't say Italian. You can't mention nationalities. Well, what if you're making French bread? You see, it doesn't make any sense. And what they're doing is they're just looking at words, but they're not looking at the context. And it's not people. I shouldn't say they as people. It's their algorithm. They have an algorithm that's kind of worming through videos. It's looking for possible images of breasts, right? Looking for words that are being used in the title or the description, like Al Qaeda, or in the description, war, crime, killing, assassination, and so forth. And it's listening to the audio. It's got speech patterns that it's looking for. Someone did a video. Someone sent me a link to this video, and they did a cooking video, but there's two guys, a lot of cussing, effing this and effing that, but they bleeped it out. They used a crow caw, whenever they swore. But if you put the subtitles on, the closed captions, you can see what they're saying. The closed captions picked up a lot of the cussing words. So it's ludicrous. What I did, and it was fun, I redid my video for Mediterranean chicken pie. I love that pie. And that was an important video to me. But I went through it and I assiduously cut out the audio whenever I said something that might be offensive. And then I put in white text over a red rectangle, either at the bottom or right over my mouth so people can't read my lips. I put substitutes. So rather than saying chicken breast meat, it said chicken chest meat. Rather than saying extra virgin olive oil, it was extra chaste olive oil or extra virtuous olive oil, which was funny. I got a lot of feedback on it. People said this is great. They loved it. But the problem with jokes, couple of problems, is they get stale very quickly, right? So you laugh the first time, but you're not going to laugh when you see it again. I can't keep doing that. And the other problem with jokes is I don't think of my cooking videos as being joke videos. I take my cooking seriously enough that I want people to benefit from the information that I'm sharing. Maybe they'll be inspired to cook something. I have people who watch my videos without any intention of cooking anything. There's one guy who's got some sort of a physical disorder with his central nervous system. He says he'll never be able to pick up a skillet, but he enjoys watching my videos. There's someone in Australia that has PTSD and depression and so forth. He finds, and he has pain, he has a lot of pain, but he finds that when he watches my video and listens to my voice, it comforts him and even helps the pain to go away for a while. I love that. I love that people are benefiting. They don't have to just benefit by making something. And I've heard from people who say, I made your French bread. Oh my gosh, it was so good. I loved it. It was gone the same day that I made it. Everybody ate it up, you know. So I like that. Some videos are very popular. Like I checked this morning, my salmon jerky video had gotten up to, I think it was either 225,000 views or 250,000 views, something like that. Really popular video, my most popular video right now. That's something you don't want flagged for two reasons. One, if you have to delete it, you lose all those views, which help your ranking. And if it's so popular, you don't want to lose the revenue if people are putting advertisements on it. It's just, it becomes not worthwhile. As I've mentioned before in these kitchen vlogs, I don't make a lot of money on YouTube. I make enough to pay for the food. I want to pay for the food. And sometimes it's very inexpensive to make something, like making pesto. What does basil cost? Italian parsley. Pine nuts are expensive. I mentioned how expensive pine nuts are today, but a lot of times I'll use almonds instead. Some people use walnuts. Nuts again. And sometimes things are expensive. I bought some sea scallops a while back for making seared scallops with chorizo ragu. It's another disheartening video. I just made a video, and it'll never go up onto YouTube, but I made my own chorizo from scratch. Fantastic stuff. I gave some to my neighbors and asked them afterwards, how was it? Was it any good? Oh my gosh, the best chorizo I ever had. They loved it. They loved it. And it was really simple to make. But I have to use pork meat, and who knows what that is. You know, porking somebody. That's innuendo. Meat. I'm rubbing my meat with a spice rub. You know, that to me is sad, because that to me is a really excellent video, and I don't know that it would be as popular as salmon jerky, but it's one that I see as possibly really becoming popular on YouTube, like my salmon jerky video. Good source of income. And the pork wasn't overly expensive, but I bought a big, like 5-pound package of pork shoulder at Costco. So I spent, I think it was like $24 for the package because it was so heavy, like $5 a pound. The revenue helps to pay for that. And people do make contributions to my website. Thank you, JK. That was a very generous contribution you made. I'm calling you JK because I don't know if you want your name out there or not. Somebody else begins with an M. She made a nice contribution. They do contribute, and that does help, and it's important because coming up in the next couple of months, I'm going to be billed again for my hosting service, so I have money now ready to pay for the hosting service for my website. But the YouTube videos, I don't want to make a joke out of my videos, and I don't want my videos to be flagged as inappropriate for advertising. They're cooking videos. I teach people to cook. I talk about cooking. I don't know what else to do. I don't, there's no joy for making these videos. And I started this about a year before I retired from my job. This was back in 2010 that I started. And the intent was to have a pastime that I could enjoy in my retirement. And for a while I have been enjoying it. But lately it's become very unenjoyable, frustrating. It makes me angry, stressed. What good is that going to do me? I won't discontinue my vlogs because the vlogs are easy. From start to finish, I can be done in an hour and there's no expense. I don't have to buy any ingredients to do vlogs. But I think for the cooking videos, until YouTube sorts out the problems they're having with their algorithm, I don't want to waste my time. I don't want to put all this effort in only to see it be fruitless, futile. It's certainly not satisfying. So that's the decision. I know a lot of people aren't going to be happy about it, but YouTube gives me no alternative at this point. There are other sites, like someone mentioned Vimeo. I've looked at Vimeo. The last time I checked, Vimeo charged a fee for each video that you put up that was high definition. I video in 1080p and then I encode in 720p. I like the quality of high definition video. There's another site, I think it's called Patreon. It's the idea is getting a patron. I don't know how beneficial that'll be yet as far as bringing in income, because not a lot of people go to my website. See, on my website I can put a link to the video on Patreon, but if 10 people, 20 people go to my website per week, that's not going to generate any income. Whereas a video on YouTube that's seen 225,000 times, that could earn me $26 in a month's time. It's pretty good. So anyways, that's the latest. I'm sorry if I've disappointed you. I'm disappointed too. And this is not something that I have thought about lightly. It's not something that I'm doing without consideration of others. But I've reached a point with YouTube where I just can't go on. It's not, it doesn't benefit me in any way. It's more hardship than pleasure. I just don't see any choice, at least for a while. So anyways, thanks for giving. Please be forgiving, and thanks for listening.